A&M just keeps rolling.
Yeah, they're a legit team. It's a real complete team, both sides of the ball, offense and defense. And Marcel Reed, who has always had exquisite talent, it sort of seems to be putting it more together.
Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm John Barbin. With me is Jeff Dover, and let's talk football.
We're a couple of average football fans that watch college, the NFL. We hope to earn your like and subscribe today. This is our review of the Texas A&M Mizzou game. What are your initial thoughts?
A&M just keeps rolling.
Yeah, they're a legit team. It's a real complete team, both sides of the ball, offense and defense. And Marcel Reed, who has always had exquisite talent, it sort of seems to be putting it more together. Because this was a tough game on the road. And he went a very efficient 20 for 29 with 221 yards, two TDs. So it's their Texas A&M, to use your phrase, is for real.
They're for real. They're Mr. Garvey. So, I mean, I'm sure Missouri fans, first thing they'll say is we're on our third string quarterback here. So what did you expect to happen? But Missouri's defense is legit. And their running game is good. It's just you can't just be missing major pieces like that and expect to actually compete with a team this good. Also, their tight end was out, which is, I guess, one of their top 2 or 3 pass catchers for the year. So they've got a hand tied behind their back in this game, no matter how good the rest of the team is. And A&M being better than like previous. This isn't your older brother's A&M. This time it looks like they're legit. Like the games somewhere in the season in the past number of years, especially during the Jimbo Fisher era, where it was just constantly, oh, we've got a number 1 recruiting class, we've got a number 2, and then they keep ending up 8-4 and inexplicably dropping games they shouldn't drop. It's just not happening this year, and they're putting teams away like when they should. There is no question. I mean, they just put them away here. Yes, third string quarterback, but there was absolutely no question.
Yeah, and Zollers looks really good. Like I think he's going to be good. Like he's let me rephrase. Like he only had like 4 completed passes for like the longest time in this game. So like he's going up against really good defense though. But he's like physically he looks like it's all there. But it's just he looked like a freshman and it was too much and even though A&M would know that Mizzou like wants to run the ball, they did run the ball. They had 2 running backs for over 100 yards each. This game never really felt like it was a threat. Like it really felt like A&M was in control like most of the game.
Yeah, they 100% were in control. So, I mean, the only time I guess you could, I don't even know, say you want to threaten, they threatened. But so in the third quarter here, when Mizzou finally gets a touchdown, the A&M responds with a fake punt that they convert for whatever 50 or 60 yards, and they at least get a field goal back. So they don't, because right in that moment you're thinking, oh, they're gonna, okay, now Mizzou's finally mounting some kind of comeback here. It's only a 2-score game at that point. You're right, they've been dominated for most of the game here, but they get the touchdown. And you call a fake punt on your own 20, own 35, whatever it was.
That was crazy.
So it's a kind of a ballsy call. I guess he understood his defense was that good. Elko understood, like, I can make this call, and I'm pretty sure my defense will hold. But you just finished giving up. You just gave up a touchdown. So
that's the kind of thing when you line up and you've watched tape and you watched how Mizzou reacts, like for their punt coverage. Like if they line up like this, then we run it. That's what that is. And so, because it absolutely works really well, but it's a, you're right though. It's still a crazy call. Like, cause that would be installed. Like if they line up like this, we're going to run it, but you always have the right to say like, no, just punt it regular. But they, that was a crazy call for them to do it, but it worked great. So, and that really put the stranglehold on the game.
Yeah. And then again, Missouri forces a fumble, but they can only get a field goal off of it. So anytime they had a chance to get momentum back, they just couldn't string anything together. They do have that one long touchdown, but it's kind of academic at that point because A&M just keeps scoring in between. Anytime Mizzou even had just a flicker of life, A&M just squashed it and kept squashing it. Yeah. Because in that, to me, if there was any chance at all, it was it was after Mizzou scores the touchdown, and they basically because that was going to be a 3-and-out on the fake punt on their own 35. So it's like, oh, okay, here's and the crowd's getting into it. They're like, okay, here we go. We got to get a 3-and-out. We're going to get great field position. Maybe we can lean into them now. And instead, the fake punt just killed the whole thing for Missouri. Mm-hmm. Not that it was inevitable they were coming back, but if they had a chance, that call, I think, killed it for them completely.
Yeah, and I think Texas A&M is really a complete team. Like they've got Ruben Owens is an amazing running back. Yeah, and Reed looks really good, like throwing and running. And Casey Concepcion is a difference maker, I think, at receiver. I think he's outstanding. So no, it's a really complete team, and then that's they go on the road to play a ranked team and really dominate most of the game. Like it's a pretty good statement win for them.
Yeah, and it seemed like they only had 2 sacks. They had 7 TFLs, but it seemed like they were causing way more havoc than the box score would suggest. I mean, I guess quarterback pressures, we're not looking at a more advanced stats that would suggest quarterback pressures because they were causing trouble all game long.
Yeah, 7 tackles for a loss is pretty significant.
No, it is. You're right. You're right.
But that is, their defense was really good.
All right, well, looking forward for what can we say about Missouri? It's sort of, once the starting quarterback went down, and they definitely could have beat Vandy. That's kind of when it was like, oh shoot, the season's kind of. They could. Zollers could have won that game. I mean, they had the Hail Mary right in the goal line. There was a chance they could have beat Vandy, but when they lost that one, you lose your quarterback. You can't convert the Hail Mary. It's kind of like, the season sort of. To me, the season turned right then, and then you're not winning this game against A&M without being at full strength. So it's unfortunate, but Missouri's got a lot of good pieces. I mean, there's still a strong defense, but then really the story here is A&M. They're marching. We're 9-0, 6-0 in conference. All we got left in conference is South Carolina and Texas. So now that Texas game is looking
feels really big.
Super big because Texas, as kind of as sort of uninspiring as the Texas season has been, they're 4-1 in conference.
Yeah, no, and at Texas isn't nothing either. So no, and Bama has Oklahoma left, so both, but Texas A&M and Alabama are the only undefeated teams in the SEC right now. They're on pace to face each other in the SEC championship game, but both have a ranked matchup, left. So other crazier things have happened. So, but if it was I wouldn't complain if it was a Texas A&M Alabama SEC championship game.
So if A&M loses to Texas, that gives and Texas doesn't lose another conference game, that puts Texas in over A&M.
Correct, but Texas has to play at Georgia next too. So that's a tough one.
Maybe I don't understand how the overall record versus the conference record. I guess the overall record doesn't matter. It's the conference record that matters for the conference.
Correct.
So they kind of have to win that game.
Who, Texas A&M?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they want to be in the SEC championship game. Yeah.
Doesn't that feel wrong? They're 9-0. They're probably going to arrive at that game 11-0, and it still all hinges just on that game. If Texas shows up without losing another conference game.
Because Texas plays at Georgia next, so Texas most likely could have another loss, SEC loss, right? So that's a big.
If they show up, that just feels wrong. Like it almost feels like, how could you arrive there 11-0 and it's the whole thing revolves around that? I mean, I think they're gonna be in the playoffs no matter what.
Yeah, that's what big time conference football feels like. Like that's why the regular season still matters, right? That's why the Bama LSU game was so important because and it was like that for back in the day with Florida and Tennessee. They're like whoever won that game would be the team that went to the SEC championship, right? When they had the East and the West and stuff. So that's why college football is so good because the regular season really matters. Like even though that they've run over a lot of their teams, it's still Texas still has, Texas A&M still has to beat Texas, and that's why that's going to be a big game.
I kind of feel like Bama's going to go undefeated in conference.
Yeah, it's the Oklahoma. It's at Bama, so I think that makes a difference. Hopefully Mateer's hand is continuing to get better, but that's not nothing, that game. So and in Auburn, but I mean, that's a rivalry game, but Auburn's really struggling. But they'll have nothing to lose that game, which is a little scary.
I guess so.
Idea.
I suppose. But really, I mean, if you're betting on this, you're betting on. I'm assuming you'd put your money on Bama to hold serve for the rest of the year here.
Yeah.
Which basically, also if A&M, oh man, Georgia can upset the apple cart there for Texas really, really badly, couldn't they? So I guess
it's felt like Bama and Texas A&M for a long time is like they're sort of on their trajectory for the end, but like this could easily be a Georgia Texas like SEC championship too, or so, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy how those different teams could still end up in it. But
so if Georgia beats Texas, they only have a loss to Bama. If Bama wins out, Georgia would have the tiebreaker over Texas.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the game coming up next.
Right. So A&M fans, I guess they want Georgia to win that game. Or do they?
I mean, I think it would be, I don't know, big picture, it might be better to play a one SEC loss Texas team.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Right. They want Georgia to beat Texas. Either way, they have to win out.
Yeah.
They just have to win out because
most likely.
What's the scenario where they actually lose to Texas and get into the Big Ten or Big SEC championship? Can they even do that? I mean, I guess chaos. If there's utter chaos, but assuming the teams we think that are going to hold serve, is there any way they lose?
If Georgia can get another loss, in Texas, no. But see, Georgia only has one SEC game left.
Right, but if their losses to Texas, that means Texas would have beat Georgia and A&M. So Texas goes for sure.
Correct in that scenario. Yeah.
So the A&M fans right now are heavily Georgia fans coming up for this game. They want Texas to lose.
Because then there would be their second SEC loss for Texas. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, there we go. It's all there. A&M, and you know what? Now we're still just talking about the SEC championship game. I'm pretty sure A&M's going in even at 10-2. They go in at 10-2.
Texas A&M or Texas?
No, A&M.
If A&M loses two more games,
yeah,
because they're at 9-0 right now.
Right. So can they make the playoffs? Not the SEC championship game. Could they get chosen at large at 10-2? Assuming.
So it's a loss to South Carolina and a loss to Texas.
I guess
essentially.
So. Yeah, they're not. It better not be to Sanford. That'd be ridiculous. They should be removed just for that loss if that happens. But there's just no way they're losing to South Carolina.
Probably not.
Shouldn't have said that. Did I just jinx them?
I know.
Sorry. 11-1, they're in for sure. 10-2. Is there enough good wins on the schedule? They beat Notre Dame, who's going to be a playoff team. They beat LSU, who's now, it's a little bit disappointing, but that's the one that got Kelly fired. Yeah. Mizzou was ranked when they beat him.
No, I think so. But it is amazing how much is left with that's why college football is so good. There's a lot riding on the last couple of weeks of the season. Yeah.
If catastrophe happens and it's 10-2, I think it's going to have to be a choice between all the teams that end up 10-2. So it might not actually be cut and dried that they're the best of the 10-2s, depending on how those other schedules shake up. Oh, well, they're cheering for Georgia next week. That's for sure. Well, I mean, they look complete to me. I think all of that was just for chatter. I think they're running the table. I think they're going to beat Texas too. They just look more complete, and they've been way more consistent.
Yeah, than Texas in a night game. It's not nothing, but yeah, not nothing. But they do look more complete. It'll be a big one. All right, is that everything you got in your notes? Yep. All right. So me too. So if you're still with us, we appreciate you checking out the channel. We know it's pretty small. We just started it last year. So if you like what we got going on and you'd like to support us, a like and a subscribe goes a long way, and we'd super appreciate it. So for Jeff Dover, I'm John Barban, and that's your Saturday versus Sunday podcast.